After 1 year of Gaza war that began on October 7, the picture is not the same as we speak. What began as a localized conflict between Israel and Hamas has now evolved into a multi-front war, with Israel now facing challenges across the Western Asia. The part does not only include two parties, that is Israel and Hamas now. It has drawn in several regional players, including Iran and Hezbollah. But this might expand further and get official now. Iran is reportedly planning to formalize the alliance with Syria, Yemen, Hezbollah and Hamas, meaning that the axis of resistance is planning to come all together to fight Israel. But first, let's understand, what is the axis of resistance? How Iran controls it? What is Khamenei planning? Will all of them corner Israel together? And how far will this escalated war go? Let's first understand that the Iranian parliament is drafting a defense and security pact. The bill aims to create an official military alliance between the parties of the axis of resistance. This includes Iran, Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Hezbollah and Hamas. What happens next will shape the history of the Middle East. If the axis of resistance gets an official tag and the bill is passed in the Iranian parliament, that would provide military assistance to Iran and its allies individually in the event of attacks by United States and Israel. Meaning that if Israel attacks any one of the ally, then all others might come together to counter the Jewish nation. The draft of the bill comes at a time when tensions between Iran and Israel have soared. Recently, Iran launched a ballistic missile strike on Israeli targets. Not just 50 or 100, but close to 200 missiles were fired from Iran on October 1st. Iran's attack ultimately killed one Palestinian and wounded 2 Israelis. Now, the Islamic Republic claimed that the attacks were in retaliation to the killing of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah. The large-scale attack, which targeted several locations across Israel, marked a significant shift and escalation in the tensions between the two nations. After the attack, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned that Tehran had made a big mistake and vowed that it will pay for it. Several reports suggested that Israel is planning an attack on oil or nuclear sites in Iran. However, the Islamic Republic has warned against it. Amid these conflicts, Iranian parliament has allegedly drafted the Resistance Pact. Yes, the one that we talked about earlier. Now, the war in the Middle East has spread to 7 distinct fronts, each involving various states and non-state actors. The first one is Hamas in Gaza. Almost a year has passed since the conflict between Israel and Hamas began. The conflict was sparked by the militant group's surprise attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. The situation remains one of the most intense fronts, with Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas infrastructure. Ground operations have led to significant casualties, with over 40,000 people being killed and many displaced in Gaza. And many Israeli hostages are yet to be freed. In the north, Israel is battling Hezbollah based in Lebanon. Lebanese Hezbollah is considered the elder brother within the axis of resistance. As a political party, it is embedded in a broader political structure that has cannibalized the Lebanese state. This has been the most intense front as we speak. Over the past few days, Israel has retaliated the militant group's attack with deeper and targeted strikes. Israel first attacked several Hezbollah targets across Lebanon. Also, the recent incidents of exploding pagers, radio sets, phones and walkie-talkies that killed top Hezbollah leaders and commanders using them has given Israel an advantage over one of its strongest adversaries. Over 1,000 people have lost their life in Lebanon over the past few weeks. Meanwhile, Israeli troops have expanded its operation in Lebanon with ground offensive across the border. Unlike Iran, Hezbollah is deployed right on Israel's border. Iran has therefore invested billions of dollars in keeping the group supplied with a wide range of missiles and rockets. In Yemen, the Houthi group has been attacking Israel. Houthis that are based in Yemen are another Iranian ally. They have launched drone and missile attacks against Israel from the south. With a strength of 10 to 30,000, Houthi rebels have been playing a role in the post-October 7 Middle East war by attacking ships in the Red Sea. This forced some of the cargo carriers to pause movement temporarily. On 10th of October 2023, Houthi chief stated that the group would retaliate by using missiles and drones in addition to other military measures if United States gets involved in the Gaza conflict. On 19th of October 2023, Yemen began the missile and drone campaign against Israel. The Islamic resistance in Iraq is an umbrella group of Iraqi resistance fighters. The armed militias emerged in Iraq after the US invasion of the country in 2003. 2023. The group has been targeting US forces stationed in Iraq and Syria since October 2023, stating that they aim to respond to Israeli attacks on Palestinians in Gaza. On October 9, 2024, the Islamic resistance in Iraq claimed that it carried out fresh retaliatory operations, striking a number of Israeli targets inside the occupied territories. It also claimed to have hit a vital target in the occupied Golan Heights using drones. The resistance group claimed that the operations are carried out in support of Palestinians and Lebanese people. Iran is one of the main members of the Axis of Resistance. Iran has now been directly involved in the attack against Israel. On October 1st, Iran fired over 180 missiles against Israel, escalating the tensions. Iran has been accused of arming Palestinian factions in the West Bank, further destabilizing the situation. Tensions in the West Bank have risen with regular clashes between Israeli forces and militants. Iran's supreme leader has also warned the Jewish nation of further attacks. The Syrian government, led by President Bashar al-Assad, is a part of the Axis of Resistance, but it has not played any direct role in the current conflict. The Iranian-Syrian alliance that was formed in 1979 is of great importance to the emergence and continuity of the Axis of Resistance. The decades-long alliance stems from Syria's support for Iran during the devastating 1980-88 Iran-Iraq war. Hundreds of IRGC commanders and officers, who Iran refers to as military advisors, are believed to be present in Syria. Iran has also built up a large network of militias consisting mostly of Afghans and Pakistanis in Syria. Although the Axis of Resistance mainly consists of Shia Islamist groups, the Popular Front of Liberation of Palestine, which is a secular Marxist-Leninist group, is also seen as a part of this alliance and receives support from Iran. The Axis claims to be against Israel in order to shore up popular support across the Islamic world. Iran has fostered the groups over decades to enable them to carry out attacks on Israel, as well as other countries such as Saudi Arabia. The network has also provided Iran with valuable allies on or near the Israeli border that could act as a deterrent against Israeli attacks on Iran itself. As a result of the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war on October 7, 2023, Hezbollah of Lebanon, the Yemeni Houthis, the Islamic resistance in Iraq, and other factions in Syria have launched drone and missile attacks on Israel. In April 2024, Iran launched a missile and drone attack against Israel, with its supporting factions in response to the Israeli airstrikes. Backing Hamas gave Iran the opportunity to position itself as a leading supporter of the Palestinian cause in the Arab world. And the hatred against Israel often goes hand in hand with the hatred against the United States. Hence America's strong role in the Middle East war. Now it remains to be seen how the Axis of Resistance will respond to Israel and its attack.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.